Now, I just cannot believe this, but at the same time, you have to believe it. When I talk about these revolving doors in the regulatory agencies over the finances of our country and of us as people that are supposed to protect us, and then that of Wall Street, the banks, the too big to fails, the ones that cause the most problems, the ones that have been raping and pillaging, and then getting caught, pay a fine, don't do it again. Pay a fine, don't do it again. And then that person who was the regulatory boss at the time, making that decision not to nail them, not to throw them out and never let them get involved in the financial markets again, and instead give them the weakest sentencing, if you will, ever, and that is pay this fine, promise you won't do it again. And then they manipulate a different commodity, pay a fine, say you won't do it again. Okay, let's move on to a different commodity, pay a fine, say you won't do it again. And then that person, I'm retiring from this prestigious job, the honorable bozo whatever name, is stepping down. Oh, he got a new job over at JP Morgan. Oh, he got a new job over at Goldman Sachs. Oh, you mean the ones that he kept letting off the hook when he was the boss at the CFTC or the SEC? Yeah. Oh. So I thought I was dreaming when I read this article headline. And in my dream that I thought I was dreaming, I thought I was also dreaming. I had to be. Because I just read that the biggest manipulator of all that we are all aware of, which is JP Morgan Chase, who always gets to pay the little fine, just got, what did they say, they just put 23 or something billion dollars in the war chest to fend off litigation, lawsuits, etc. for things like that, financial crimes. Because even though the CFTC, in this case, because that's who deals with the commodities, the regulatory agency, is kind of looking the other way and finally, okay, you're going to have to pay a fine because people are catching on. Not throwing the book at them, just pay a fine. And then saying, I guess you can do it some more because it's a good business model. You make billions and billions and billions of dollars doing one of these financial crimes, and then you settle with us for $200 million. Oh, well, that's a business plan. Now all of a sudden I just make tons of profit, take a tiny piece of the profit to pay you guys off, so to speak, right? Because I'm breaking the law. But I'll never get prosecuted because you're my pals and you're going to work for me one day with a high salary, so you're just going to make me pay a little fine. Yeah, okay, good. So, anyways, I'm getting all out of track here. Of all the places, JP Morgan, who has a head of their commodities division, not a bad looking lady, named Blythe Masters. And she came on the scene after all these people screaming about silver manipulation and market manipulation. She never comes out and really does interviews. Almost never. Maybe once or twice, kind of a thing. So one of these times, she comes out and ladies interviewing her. It may have been CNBC or one of these places, NBC, something. And, you know, she's basically says, you know, there's a lot of talk that JP Morgan manipulates the price of commodities such as silver. I think she even said such as silver. And she says, well, yeah, we know, we've heard that, but you have to understand what JP Morgan's positions, we're pretty much flat. So we're not like majorly short anything or majorly long anything. We're just kind of right in the middle always. That's just our position. However, we do have clients. Remember that one? We do have clients. She's the one that said that. We have clients. In other words, their clients may or may not have huge short positions or huge long positions. Of course, that's not long because the price is going down. If they had huge long positions, the price would be going up. So, who's the client? That's the question. No one, and that conversation did not go there. That's how it ended. So Blythe had to come out, hey everybody, we're not manipulating the market. We've got clients that have positions. We're just the bank, and we do have our own positions, by the way, but they're flat. Trust us, they're flat. They're, you know, they're not really long. For every long, in other words, for every long position we have, we've got a short position. Right there with it. That's our argument. So, keeping in mind, JP Morgan has already been busted over and over and over and over. I think wheat manipulation, cotton manipulation on the commodities market, energy manipulation, energy prices. Oh, but not precious metals. That's trust us. You can't trust us on anything we've ever told you. You can't trust us that we told you we were never manipulating any commodities and got caught red-handed 3, 4, 5 times in a row. But just trust us this time when we say we don't manipulate precious metals prices. Right? Now, who was in charge of that division? Blythe Masters. While they were settling with this CFTC and other regulatory agencies elsewhere for fees costing a total billions of dollars. But their profits were higher than that, so it didn't matter to them. But at the same time, that's not the point of this conversation. The point is, they settled because they knew they were doing wrong, and it's now part of their business model to just keep doing wrong and pay the fine. So the regulatory agencies recognize we're catching you doing this thing wrong because so many people are busting our chops now to do something. We can't just hide it anymore. Pay the fine. And then again, pay the fine. And then again, pay the fine. And that's all it is. So, who was at the helm during this time period? Blythe Masters of the Commodities Division. And I read that the CFTC is bringing on Blythe Masters from JP Morgan in an advisory capacity for the worldwide something or another division of, in other words, we need to figure out how globally we can keep things, right, or whatever, what have you. And we need some advice from an expert to make sure we're handling the globe properly, not just the United States. Who should we bring in? Call in Blythe Masters. She's our girl. I kid you not. That is what is happening. They are going to bring in Blythe Masters. Lady that was been in charge. Do you know how absurd this is? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jason at 4, the head regulatory guy on the banking system in America, strictly dealing with losses to banks from bank robbers. And there seems to be quite a bit of bank robbing going on, and I need to find an expert to help us deal with this problem so that when we go worldwide, we kind of have that taken care of, because we're kind of having trouble here in America. So you have all these prestigious, highly knowledgeable people applying for the position, so to speak. No, thanks for coming by. Nope. Oh, Blythe Masters. This lady, we've got to have her. Oh, what's her credentials? She worked for one of the largest bank robbers in the world. Matter of fact, the one that's probably paid the most fines to get its way out of bank robbing, because they've just got this crack team of lawyers that seem to always get them out of getting charged with any bank robberies. She was actually the lady in charge during all of the heists. That was her division. Okay, hold on. You want to hire her? Shouldn't we be throwing her in jail for the rest of her life? No, we think it'd be a good idea to hire her in a capacity to, basically just an advisory capacity. We think it'd be a good idea. Don't you think she'll take that information or realize how we work and possibly use it against us to rob even more banks? Nah, she's solid. She got a good resume. Yeah, I know. She's robbed 14 different banks successfully, and we've had to settle with her rather than prosecute her and her team. And now you want to take her on as an advisor? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Now, I'm going to switch for a second, because it's related, to the show American Idol. Keep this in mind. American Idol, you see all these young kids for the most part, between the ages of like 16 and 30, 35, I don't know what the cutoff limit is, but somewhere around there, trying to be the superstar singer, make it to the top, get a recording contract, and become, quote unquote, rich and famous. And then you see, as they get up there and sing, it tells you their name and like what they do. so-and-so waiter, so-and-so works at a hardware store, you know, so-and-so whatever. These are just average jobs that they're showing. So naturally you can see all these people want a better life. They don't like where their life's heading. They don't want to be working at the hardware store the rest of their lives. They don't want to be a waiter the rest of their lives, etc. So they want something bigger, they go there. Now that's actually not the point, but that shows us as a society that this isn't exactly the greatest place to live and work that we've been told, is it? Right? If you don't like everything that is available and you think I can only make it in this world if I'm a superstar, kind of seems like there's a problem within our society to begin with, that there's a big gap between rich and poor, the needy and the not so needy. So that's an issue in itself, but the point of this conversation is this. As these people get up there and sing, and you hear them, and they're good, some of them are real good, and some are way, way good. The judges, it was good, but blah, 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 sorry, I'm going to have to send you home. And by the end of the show, you have really legitimately the best singers of thousands and thousands and thousands that have come and applied for that position, so to speak, tried out for American Idol. So we have a system in place that gets us the very best, and it works. But in the banking and financial system and regulatory agencies, it doesn't work. They get the worst because it's a buddy-buddy know-it-all system who know nothing about anything, and they just have this position. I'm in charge of it now, and I'm going to look the other way. So we have the worst of the worst. Take care.